The Bucks coming into the arena confident they'll be walking out of here with a precious win on the road. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. An overhead look at downtown Philadelphia. That's the site of our broadcast tonight. Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. In this game, we'll see the Milwaukee Bucks going up against the Philadelphia 76ers here in Wells Fargo Center. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Tonight with us as well, the Book of Basketball author, Bill Simmons. Bill, great to see you.
It's great to be here. Nobody is more impressed than my 11-year-old son, who can't believe that he's playing a video game and gets to hear my voice. When he hears my voice just yelling at him normally, now he gets to hear me break down basketball.
But it's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
he likes it.
Yeah.
And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Lopez.
And maybe it's shocking, maybe not too shocking, but the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. I'm sure it's something he's well aware of, and we'll see if that continues to be the case.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
The Bucks took a massive leap in Coach Mike Budenholzer's first season in Milwaukee. Budenholzer said he joined the organization at the perfect time. The new facilities, the energetic fans, the great roster, ownership, front office, everything is set up to have great success. And he added, I feel fortunate to be the coach. Kevin?
The feeling, no doubt, mutual. Thanks, D.A. Well, Ben Simmons has a very versatile game, there's no doubt, except that his shooting is something that drives you crazy, and that's probably going to determine how great he can become in this league.
Yeah, and maybe what position he ends up playing, too, because you could argue maybe you just play him at point center and you put him with somebody else who can stretch the floor, or maybe protect the rim a little bit. But I think the thing with Ben is he looks so much better during the regular season because the pace is different. But as you know, in the playoffs, it slows down. And I don't see any roadmap for him being a superstar if he doesn't figure this out. I still feel like athletically, he's way, way up there. And it's just going to come down to, can he go to the next level as somebody who's really never won anything? You know, you think like he's been in round 2 and that's it in 2 straight playoffs. And in both round 2s, didn't play well. I think winning is a skill, and competing at a certain level is a skill, and I'm not sure we've seen that from him enough yet.
Well said. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Matthews and Middleton, the 2 wings. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. And for the 76ers, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And Bill, do you see the comparison that many people say between Ben Simmons and Magic Johnson?
I see one piece of it. He reminds me of Magic that he can get a rebound, his head's up immediately. He can either whip the ball 60 feet down to somebody who's open, or he could just go down and run the fast break, but nobody else has to touch the ball. And I think the list of guys who can get a rebound in traffic, go 90 feet, make the right decision, and get the ball to the right person, it's not a long list. You're talking like less than 10 guys ever. And I think that's what, when they say Ben Simmons and Magic Johnson, that's what really reminds them of Magic Johnson. I'm just here to remind people that Magic Johnson was one of the 5 best players of all time. And it's kind of dumb to really compare anyone to Magic Johnson. We're never going to see that again. But I think Ben has little pieces of it.
And it's sent back by Lopez.
Great timing on Lopez's part there to swat down that attempt.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
And it's Simmons penetrating. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
The 76ers shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. That one is off.
I like his even-keeled demeanor, guys. You look at Ben Simmons, never too high or too low. He's got a quiet confidence about him that bodes well for his future.
So for the 76ers, their last game, a win against the Pistons. Bill, you study pop culture. The 2K esports league is a phenomenon right now, which is sweeping the country. Do you think that's going to alter the perception of gaming in any way?
Yeah, I would say it has one of the best chances of any esports league to succeed because people just love basketball. And you can feel it there in the offseason. The shift in basketball content and the fact that it's now a 12-month-a-year sport for us. And now it goes from the playoffs to the draft to where are people going in free agency. And then that plays out for a month, and then something else will happen. All of a sudden, it's August.
Summer leagues are
summer
coming
leagues
up.
happening, and then all of a sudden the season's close, and then you just kind of recycle, and it's a 12-month-a-year sport.
Right. Deflects the pass. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Simmons got 5 points so far.
With Simmons, the closer, the better. I mean, he's confident from this area of the floor.
Here's DiVincenzo, guarded by Simmons. Middleton can't get it to go. Bill, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with the 2K League, and you mentioned how basketball has grown into essentially a 12-month-a-year sport.
For me, a 2K esports league just makes sense. It fits into that. I think people love the players. I think they care about these athletes, in basketball, so much more than the other sports. And for me, it's really gratifying because I've loved basketball my whole life. And for a while there, when I grew up as a kid, they were tape delaying the finals. And, it was like the second-tier league. And now to see how popular it is and how much people love it, it's just, I feel like I was in early. I'm sure you do too.
Absolutely. I mean, when Magic Johnson is a rookie and starting at center in Game 6 in Philadelphia, yes.
And it was tape delayed.
My
beloved Boston Celtics won the 1981 title. And it was on tape delay in Boston, and I went to bed, and my dad woke me up to watch the game for me. And it's not even 40 years ago. So I think the other thing that really helps with the 2K Esports League is that these guys play 2K, the actual players.
Yeah, right.
They
care about it.
They care about it. They have an incredible amount of time on their hands because they're too famous and they can't go anywhere. So they're in hotel suites. They're bringing with the PlayStation or Xbox with them. They're playing their friends. They're playing each other online. And this is what they're doing all day.
Tobias Harris.
And, Bill, we were talking about how so many NBA players are playing 2K these days and getting to play online against people you don't know.
Yeah.
Can't see.
I remember my buddy Gus, who I played a ton of video games with in the 80s, the first time we could play online against each other was like a really pivotal moment in both of our lives. Sometime in the mid-2000s. We're just like, this is amazing. You're in Connecticut, I'm in LA, and we're playing video games. This is great. We've arrived.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Embiid. Mike Scott comes in for Al Horford. Ennis, he's checked in for Richardson. And Raul Neto is subbed in for Simmons. 2 on the clock. Hill, no good.
Well, you've got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
Here's Neto, and the layup is good.
Yeah, that's good vision from Harris. I mean, he draws so much attention himself, so he's become a capable passer.
And so it's Hill with it. He brings it up for the Bucks. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And it was one of those games where it was just hard to get anything going. And you could see frustrations emerge.
And you know what? Even though it was a frustrating night shooting the ball, they found a way to get it done and pulled it out. And a win's a win, and that ultimately is all that matters.
Now here's Ennis. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And it's good for 2.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Here's Connaughton. He averages about 5 points a game.
And, you know, coaches will take possessions like that all day long. Phenomenal use of the screen there.
Here's Neto. He's guarded by Hill. Lets it go from 14. And that one goes long. Milwaukee in the lead. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Lopez. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. For Philadelphia, they've gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Korver gets a wide open look from outside off the mark. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Milwaukee Bucks. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Right back after this break. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about making a quick transition to the United States.
Not knowing English, obviously at the beginning it was a little bit hard to express myself. Obviously I can speak English perfectly now, so that's a plus, and I'm just being myself.
And that unique sense of humor, Greg, is a specialty of Embiid.
He's a fun-loving guy who's become a must-follow on social media. And the transition he's made has been remarkable.
And we welcome you back to NBA action, a great tradition, Christmas Day basketball, here on 2K Sports. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Bucks, guys.
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And, you know, for them guys, it's all about tempo. Keep the pressure on and do so as much as possible.
Ennis out there with Scott. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Neto in at the 1. That's the group for Philadelphia to start this second quarter.
You know, the former late first-round pick, Hill, has really developed into a reliable shooter and wing defender. He's got good speed, gets to the rim with ease, and passes the ball well, too.
Here's Korkmaz. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Detroit. That's tipped and stolen by Ilyasova. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. That one falls. Connaughton's got the lead up to 4 now for the Bucks.
Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
Bill, do you ever think we're going to eliminate conferences in the NBA playoff seeding?
I think that they would have done a 16-seed, no-conference playoff format years ago. I think they were really worried about the travel, though. Mm-hmm. And they've looked at it, and they've really studied it, and they've looked at the effects of, let's say Boston plays Portland in round 1, and you're flying 3,100 miles or 3,200 miles in 3 time zones and all that stuff, and it's a 2-2-1-1-1 series. What is the effect on the team if it goes 7? I think they're really afraid of it. I wish they did it. I don't like the conferences. I don't really understand them. And over the course of NBA history, they've been really confused by the conferences. I wrote about this in the book of basketball, where we had years where San Antonio was playing in the East for a while, and Baltimore was in the West, which, go look at a map. Baltimore being in the West is ridiculous. Baltimore was in the West and Philly was in the East, and they're like 50 miles away from each other.
Yeah, made no sense.
So they've never really 100% figured out the conferences, and I just think the 1 through 16 makes more sense.
It would sure be better basketball.
It would be better.
Yeah. Here's Connaughton. Here's Lopez. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3. And from everything we're hearing, Bill, the draft's one and done aspect may be coming to an end. Like it?
For me, the G League is the key to all of this. I would like to see the guys come right out of high school and go into the G League and have an actual infrastructure that's attached to the real team.
And the G League is having an effect on the NBA. There are a lot of former guys from that league playing in the big league.
And the other thing is, like, sports rights are becoming more and more valuable with the streaming services, and just the fact that you can watch a game anywhere you are. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it if you're in China. You can watch it if you're in Hawaii. And I think the G League should be a bigger thing. So if they can figure out a way to kind of steal college basketball's corner with some of this stuff while also preparing these guys. The one and done, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand what anyone gains from going to college for 5 months and then pretend they're a college student.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. And Milwaukee has possession. 76ers getting the bucket. Lopez passes to Middleton, and it's sent back by Horford. Embiid against Lopez. And they double up Embiid. Philadelphia moving the ball around. No good there. Good D by Lopez.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
You know, Antetokounmpo, for all of his skills and talent, he's a worker. This guy likes to grind and takes a lot of pride in outworking people on the board.
That one is good from Joel Embiid. Bill defenders are doing a better job of challenging the shooter from the side so they don't foul and don't step into that landing space when he comes down from shooting.
Yeah, I don't like the landing space. And all that stuff. Like,
well, what would you call
load management? We have all these phrases now. It's like, how did these phrases come in my life?
Load management is interesting.
Load management's the worst. Where did that start?
I don't know.
Can we just play basketball?
Just like work, yeah. Just you could figure, just rest.
What's the thing they call when the guy travels, but they say it's not? It's like he's gathering the ball. That's another one.
Gathering the
Never
ball.
said gathering the ball in my life until 2 years ago. Enough with the weird phrases.
Yeah. Here's Richardson, following the basket by Brook Lopez. Richardson the pass to Horford. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. Korkmaz. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Korkmaz has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Giannis outside. 1:27 left now here in the second. Brown outside. Passes it to Antetokounmpo. And stolen by Horford. And entertaining as always, Bill, thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Just, I don't want to do any Celtic games. Can we not do that? I don't want to see that team. Let's do the other teams.
Okay. And Clark, you know what? Bill will always give you a great point of view.
And you know what? I think he needs his own barbershop talk show, Kevin. I mean, he's done everything else in media. Go barbershop on him, Bill.
Here's Simmons following the basket by Giannis. Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play. So we'll see Ben Simmons go to the line here. That's on Brook Lopez.
Well, you look at Ben Simmons and that great body of his and the skills of a guard. That is an incredibly unique combination.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Mike Scott's checked in for Embiid, and Tobias Harris subbed in for Korkmaz. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Robin Lopez is checked in for Lopez. Korver comes in for Chris Middleton. Matthews, he's checked in for Brown. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Hill.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Harris kicks to Scott. 35 seconds left in the first half of the game. To the middle. Basket is good. The assist from Harris.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Bucks leading by 6. Giannis high post. Scott's there, and Giannis gets it to go.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Yeah, and that field goal percentage zooming upwards is now above 50%, which is pretty strong.
Lopez with the steal. One-on-one fast break. Here's DiVincenzo. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, your guys have been able to limit their scoring. How have you done that?
Well, I think our activity, hopefully, in the pick and rolls is making it difficult on them, contesting every shot, denying just our activity in general.
High hands and quick feet. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. he had 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. Multiple times we saw the bench cheering him on in the first 2 quarters of this one. Shaq, let's get your take on Milwaukee.
Ernie, do not take this the wrong way, but the freak got freaky as usual. Can rise above anyone, gets whatever shot he wants. Plus, he's a tremendous team leader, both through words and action.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia.
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the board. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. You look at Antetokounmpo in this one, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half, and he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Guys, he's been in beast mode down low, asserting his will. The defense has been helpless, unable to slow him down.
We've played through the first half, plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Well, how do you think great coaches go about making that connection with their players?
Well, it starts with being candid and holding the player accountable. Great players want to and need to be coached, and great coaches find a way to do that effectively for that individual and for the team.
On the court for the Bucks, Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Then it's Matthews, then it's Brook Lopez, and it's DiVincenzo in at the point. And the first one drops. And what a year last season for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was terrific across, Greg, all stat categories.
And he was rightfully in the MVP conversation very early on. He's still very young, and I see multiple MVP seasons in his future.
Second free throw, no good.
You know, what you really like about Antetokounmpo is he wants to keep getting better. I'd say he's accomplished that and then some.
Here's Richardson. That shot missing. And Milwaukee the other way now.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
Here's Simmons following the bucket by the Bucks. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Simmons got 9.
Hey, there's not a lot you can do to prevent Simmons from creating space. I mean, it's quite honestly what he does best in pick and roll situations.
Now here's Matthews. No points in the game yet for him. The pass to Lopez. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. And another 3 for Milwaukee.
Remarkable poise from Wesley Matthews. Looks like he's very comfortable shooting as soon as that ball hits his hand.
Simmons dishes to Embiid. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That's on Brook Lopez.
You know, guys, it's not surprising to hear that Joel Embiid gets a lot of inspiration from Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon. Both came to the game late. Both represent the continent of Africa. And Embiid really kind of modeled his game after Hakeem, and that's a heck of a model.
Ennis, he's checked in for the 76ers. Raul Neto comes in for Ben Simmons. Lopez passes to DiVincenzo. Back to Lopez. It's good. Lopez has got the lead up to 12 now for Milwaukee. And when he first came to America, you know, what a great story this is. Embiid's coach in Cameroon sent him a DVD of Hakeem's highlights.
And that was a good start for Embiid, and good work by you, Kevin, to dig up that factoid. Very nicely done. But you're right, Embiid said he watched that tape every day for 3 years, and you can see evidence of him watching that tape and how he plays.
Offensive rebound. Back to Ennis from deep. Milwaukee with the rebound.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And here are the 76ers now after the basket by Milwaukee.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room. Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
And what's been impressive is that it's not been any one player. It's been a collective effort, contributions from everybody.
A nice shot there by Antetokounmpo.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Neto, the pass to Embiid to stop the run. And the rejection by Giannis. And Philadelphia making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. And then for Milwaukee, Ilyasova, he's checked in for Antetokounmpo. And it's Pat Connaughton in for Chris Middleton. And the 76ers call time here. And Clark, with Giannis, you could see the change in his demeanor last year. You know, he knew he was unguardable when he was on the floor.
Well, guys, you know you're special when you can say nobody can stop me, and the general consensus is you're right. I mean, I can't think of any player in the NBA that's really suited to guard Giannis with his blend of speed and strength and ball skills. That guy handles the ball exceptionally well for a big man.
Scotty's checked in for Embiid. The 76ers have knocked down 5 of their 9 attempts at the stripe tonight.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Here's Korver. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Harris has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Korver. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Korver's got his first points in this one.
Yeah, I like watching Korver run in transition. Terrific at knowing where to go in these situations.
Fires from 14. Offensive rebound. The shot's good from O'Quinn.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Neto. That is his first foul of the game. Clark, the two-way contract, a relatively new invention that gives players time in both the G League and the NBA.
I love it, Kevin, because it's another pathway for those aspiring to be NBA players to have a legitimate shot to make their dream come true. The G League is just a notch below the NBA in terms of overall talent. And so I love the fact that players who desire to be pros can have a pathway to get to the NBA by being part of the G League as well.
And these G League players are having an impact, aren't they? They're making a difference on a lot of teams.
40% of the players in the league have spent some time in the G League, so it speaks to the impact the G League has on the NBA.
And Korver, a team-first guy. When one of his guys is open, he wastes no time in delivering the pass.
Here's Scott. Hill pulls it in.
Boy, defense non-existent there, but they catch a break as he whiffs it.
It's out of bounds. Last touch by Korver.
Not sure what he was thinking about with that pass. Just sailed it right out of bounds.
And the 76ers with some changes. Korkmaz, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Richardson comes in for Ennis. And Simmons subbed in for Raul Neto. The Bucks also with the sub. Antetokounmpo's checked in.
The slashability of Simmons. Really creating havoc for the defense with his aggressive, cutting mentality.
And so it's Hill with it. He brings it up for Milwaukee. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. Inside, here's Antetokounmpo, and the dunk by Giannis.
They've hardly needed anyone else today to get out to this lead. I mean, he's provided almost all of their offense.
Back to Simmons. Pass to Korkmaz. Shoots the three. No good on that one. And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. In the backcourt, Simmons and Richardson. Korkmaz is out there with Scott, and it's Embiid in at the 5 spot. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Good on the shot.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Brown. Back to Antetokounmpo. Brown outside. Here's Connaughton. Richardson covering. Giannis, that's a 2-pointer. They get it again. Brown. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And the 76ers with some changes. Horford comes in for Mike Scott, and Tobias Harris subbed in for Korkmaz. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Lopez, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Chris Middleton comes in for Brown. Wesley Matthews checked in for Pat Connaughton. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for George Hill. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. Milwaukee leading by 17. Giannis outside. Trying to get open is Lopez. And that one's good by Giannis. Giannis has got 9 points now in just the second half. 76ers shooting about 42% so far. Richardson against Matthews. And here is Horford over Lopez. Here's Embiid. Nice work on the boards. Paying off with the basket.
Boy, that long reach of Embiid's paying dividends there, guys. An absolute machine on the offensive glass.
Here's DiVincenzo. And it's blocked by Simmons. Richardson outside. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Richardson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
He does not lack for confidence, and he shouldn't. I mean, this guy is a dangerous scorer.
On the wing, Giannis. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Richardson outside. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
Could have been much better defense. I mean, you can't give this guy any room to operate.
Giannis passes to Lopez. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Pass to DiVincenzo. 4 on the clock. Back to Matthews. And he can't stop the run as he misses. The 76ers trail by 11. Richardson for 3. Richardson missing again. Here's DiVincenzo. He gets it in there.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. He got on him. He said he's got to see more intensity. He said we've put ourselves in this hole, and we've got to work our way out of it. Show me you've got what it takes, guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Middleton trying to break free. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. And now here comes Simmons leading the break. No good. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. DiVincenzo passes to Lopez. Giannis inside. Working on Horford. Good work defensively by Horford.
Nothing's going his way since the horn. I mean, looks like he used up all his makes in the last quarter.
Milwaukee leading by 15. Now here's Middleton. We've seen some ugly incidents last few years, Clark, between players and heckling fans. Can anything be done to fix it?
I think security in the arenas is important. Fans oftentimes that go across the line in interacting with players are usually fueled by alcohol. I don't know how you could control that element of it. The incidents are few and far between. We have seen a few more, but I still don't think it's an epidemic. But I think security, and then each team and each franchise should really be educational with its fans about what's acceptable behavior and what won't be tolerated.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Bucks.
Their superior ball handling won it for them.
And fewer turnovers equals greater scoring opportunities. Any coach will tell you that. If you take care of the ball every possession, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you do.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
Man, always nice to get win number one against the opponent. You'll be seeing a total of this matchup 4 times over the course of the year. So they set the tone tonight, though, for their season series against the Sixers.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Giannis.
Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Simmons finds Richardson. Here's Embiid. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Brooke. Congrats on the win. How important was this game for you?
You know, it's very big for us. It was a good benchmark. We've been trying to improve every game. You know, we've been getting better these past few games. And, you know, we know these guys are a very good team, so we wanted to come out and make a statement.
You sure did make a big statement tonight, Brooke. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later.